You didn't ask me earlier. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Good morning. It is Wednesday, February the 22nd, 2023. I'm Pearson Bowen, and this is a CBC Morning Report. A caution this morning to Barbadians against declaring that Phase 1 of the compact has failed is coming from the President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Anthony Branker, who spoke with CBC News about the second phase of the social compact. He says the private sector's participation is as a result of their desire to be socially responsible.
If we were still at our fixed markups across the manufacturers, retailers, distributors, persons would have seen different prices. And therefore, as I said before, it was a mechanism to cap the pricing, to reduce, to buffer that pricing. And therefore, the persons would not have felt the full effects through the first compact. Government also would have removed the value-added tax on some items to accompany the basket of goods. And they also removed duties on some items. So the first compact was not only the fixed markup, but it had complementing it the removal of VAT, and it also had the removal of duty. So the combination of the support from the retailers, distributors, manufacturers, and government, and labor, I should say, really made the first compact a success, yes.
Excuse me. Mr. Branker says the participants of the social compact were heavily burdened owing to a limit on the markup supplied, even as international prices continue to rise. He says participation by other members of the private sector is required for a Phase 3. The BCCI president believes their inclusion will result in a further reduction in the cost of living in Barbados.
I can't see a Phase 3 social compact with just the retailers, distributors, and manufacturers. I think that there could be a role for the Barbados Private Sector Association to pull more business sectors into a possible Phase 3. Because it is not fair to ask retail and distribution and manufacturers to carry this load exclusively. We all interact with other areas of business, and therefore I think that a Phase 3 cannot be structured in the way that Phases 1 and 2 was structured. So I think that a Phase 3 could be possible if the base is broadened, and therefore the average Barbadian, rather than just looking for a savings when they go into the supermarket, can look for some benefit elsewhere. The average Barbadian can understand that when we go about our lives over the course of a week, yes, we interact with the supermarket, but there are a number of other services that we interact with that we somehow have left out of this arrangement. And it isn't reasonable and fair to just expect supermarkets and distributors and some manufacturers to carry the load of reducing the impact of the imported inflation on Barbadians.
Mr. Branker says despite these challenges faced by the private sector, participants in the compact negotiated an agreement which balances their needs and those of the Barbadian consumer. He credits Senior Minister with responsibility for the productive sector Kerry Simmons for his role in the negotiations.
The truth is that we started out unsure as to if we were going back into a second phase of this compact. We were unsure about how we could sustain this social compact. But I want to congratulate the retailers, distributors, and manufacturers who came together. The Chamber was able to pull these players together, and we had solid discussions because we wanted to, Senior Minister Simmons led the negotiation, and I must say that the point that he raised about being socially responsible, it rang true to us as a grouping. And therefore, a lot of what we initially went to the table with, we softened our approach because we understood that there was a social responsibility as retailers, distributors, and manufacturers. And therefore, it was not a very tough or rigid or one-sided negotiation, but the retailers, as I said, distributors, approached it from a social perspective, and therefore we were able to come up with a position that we felt was fair to us and also that will still benefit the Barbadian public.
We'll take a break here on the CBC Morning Report, but coming up we'll bring you the very latest COVID-19 statistics as at February the 17th.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.com.
Barbados recorded 2 more COVID-19 deaths during the period February the 4th to the 17th, bringing the total to 575. That's according to the Ministry of Health's latest COVID-19 stats report. In addition, 211 new cases of the viral illness were diagnosed out of 1,963 tests conducted during the same period. As of February the 17th, 13 people were hospitalized, and since March 2020, a total of 106,645 cases have been diagnosed. Meanwhile, 60.5% of the total population has received at least 1 dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, while 57.2% are fully vaccinated. Guyana has so far for the year recorded 11 deaths from COVID-19. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, in providing the update, revealed that 8 of the deaths were recorded in January. The remaining 3 were recorded in February.
Right now we have 34 cases across the country, and we've been monitoring these cases. It varies by region. So in Region 1, currently we don't have any case. In Regions 2, we have 4 cases. Regions 3, 3 cases. Regions 4, 11 cases. Regions 5, 1. Region 6, 5 cases. Region 7, 6 cases. Regions 8, 0. Regions 9, 4. And Region 10, 0.
That was the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, speaking during his COVID-19 update on Monday. According to him, COVID-19 infections and deaths are still being recorded across the country, but he believes that official figures may be an underrepresentation because of low testing. Because of this, he's pleading with more people to get vaccinated. Children in particular should be vaccinated to protect them against the disease.
Not doing too good. We need to get more people vaccinated. Right now, for the first dose booster, for the population that is eligible, meaning those 5 years and older, we have only been able to administer 13.4% of that eligible population. And for second dose, we are at 1% for the eligible populations.
The health minister warned that several coronavirus variants are circulating, and as such, the threat of COVID-19 is not yet over.
Jamaica's National Solid Waste Management is making a bid to shift the culture of improper garbage disposal plaguing the island. The partnership with Recycling Partners of Jamaica will see to the provision of receptacles which they will urge citizens to use and properly dispose of plastic-only contents. More in this CVM TV report.
Chicken skin, the this, the that, everything you throw in the garbage. 50% or more of your garbage is food waste, and that can go into composting.
Mayor of Maypen, Winston Mirage, says composting as an alternative to garbage disposal creates organic fertilizers for farmers and perpetuates a healthier lifestyle for Jamaicans.
Instead of a chemical fertilizer that we have to import and pay so much foreign exchange for. That's how we Jamaicans need to start thinking.
As he educates citizens on how to separate food waste, he states the importance of properly disposing of plastics, noting its detriment to the environment. Mayor Mirage says he is looking forward to putting a depot in Lionel Town as a drop-off site for all the plastics in surrounding communities.
We're also looking at another area in the Maypen area so that the central section of the parish can do similar thing, having a depot set up for plastics, and then we're looking into the north.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Management, Audley Gordon, says that the recycling project being launched will focus on repurposing plastic.
That we will use the plastic. Plastic is everywhere. If we arrest that and bring it in to the receptacles that we will put in place here, so that it can make its way to recycling partners, we would have done ourselves a good service. We would have done our community a good service. And more importantly, we would have saved the future for our children.
Former Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Dr. Hubert Minnis, has called for an investigation into last week's protests that ended in chaos ahead of the meeting of CARICOM leaders.
I think the police would have made some errors in terms of freedom of speech, freedom of movement, allowing the protests, etc. You must remember that Shogam under Sir Lyndon Pinling, there were mass protests with Shogam, but yet Pinling and his government allowed individuals freedom of speech and allowed them to protest. There's been many allegations made against the police, and investigation that needs to be investigated and dealt with appropriately.
Coalition of Independence members protested last week Wednesday. 18 people, including COI leader Lincoln Bain, were subsequently arrested and made an initial court appearance on Friday. Dr. Minnis says the implications of the protest were far-reaching.
Individuals for schools were delayed 1 to 2 hours. Individuals for the workplace were delayed 2 to 3 hours. That would have had some impact not only on the job situation, but impact on the economy also. And by the following day, obviously.
Well, rescue teams in Brazil are continuing to search for dozens of people who are missing after floods and landslides around Sao Paulo.
Laerte Silva's brother lived here. He has little hope of finding him alive.
He must be buried somewhere here. My sister-in-law and my baby niece were rescued from the rubble by the neighbors, but my brother stayed behind and was dragged by the mud avalanche that destroyed their home.
Silva's brother is one of 40 that died in lethal landslides in the seaside town of São Sebastião. 200 kilometers from Brazil's largest city, São Paulo. São Sebastião was the epicenter of devastating floods after 600 millimeters of rain fell in 24 hours. Dozens of people remain missing.
The family living in this house was lucky. A 62-year-old man, his daughter, and 2 grandchildren, aged 10 and 15. They fled as soon as they heard the mudslide and the vegetation being torn down the hill, and they made it just in time before this tree crashed into their house.
Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva visited the disaster area on Monday as rescue operations continued.
Sometimes nature surprises us, but many times we challenge nature. We have to think of safe places to rebuild houses for the people of São Sebastião.
Ludmila Jimenez says it's time the government admitted that tragedies like these could be avoided.
People blame us for putting our lives at risk by building our houses on the hills in unsafe places, but we have no other options. Rents in the city are high, and the only way we can afford a roof over our heads and put food on the table is by building our own shacks, and we don't have cheap housing.
Ludmila escaped the landslide with her husband and 1-month-old baby. Like many of the 2,000 people who lost their homes or were forced to leave, she took refuge in the nearby church.
The church and thousands of volunteers were fast to help, gathering clothes, water and food for the flood victims. We house 300 people, but are expecting more to come and will soon run out of space.
While some neighbors are helping the rescue teams, others offer encouragement with songs and pray for the rain to stop.
Well, coming up when you join me at 6:34 Morning Barbados, the Expo Dubai female winner of the Road Tennis Championship. She's back, she's on the island, and we'll talk to her about her interest in our indigenous sport. Also, it's Parish Month for the Parish of St. Peter. They'll join us this morning to tell us what is on the calendar of events in that Parish of St. Peter. And when we talk HR with Hermab this morning, we want to look at HR's role in managing organizational change. We want to talk about that and a whole lot more at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados. We're taking a break here. We're back with more in just a moment.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business,
it appears another local financial institution has fallen victim to hackers. The situation has left thousands of customers of a local credit union seeking answers after several of its services were affected. CBC News understands that the City of Bridgetown Cooperative Credit Union is currently investigating a possible cybersecurity attack on its network. As a result, the credit union's clients have been unable to use their cards, whether at the ATM or for other services. The COB app is also offline, along with other online banking services offered by the institution. A notice in the form of an email has been sent to customers alerting them to what COB is terming technical difficulties currently being experienced and on the impact of its network. Information reaching CBC News also indicates that the credit union officials are looking into the matter and are expected to issue a statement in coming days. COB has extended its opening hours to accommodate customers as it moves to restore the network. In other news now, government's special advisor on heritage development in the Division of Culture, Senator John King, believes more needs to be done to ensure the legacies of departed artists live on. He made the call as he addressed attendees at a recent event hosted by the Barbados Association of Creatives to pay tribute to the late singing Francine. Several upcoming and seasoned performers took to the stage in the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre to pay homage to the Calypso icon. King insists all attempts must be made to ensure current and future generations know of trailblazers like singing Francine and others.
Often, we are so caught up in the present that we either forget or ignore those sages who paved the way for us. You know, when I listened to Wayne just now, I thought he had read what he was writing. There's no Rihanna without a singing Francine or Carolyn Leacock. Thank you. You can clap. And countless others who have transitioned, breaking ground many years ago, making it fertile for new generations of artists to plant their creative seeds. I want to suggest that we seek to establish a shift in consciousness about who we are as a people. That artists, such as singing Francine, must have a rightful place in our story. We must capture it in literature, in film, and also in the Music Hall of Fame.
And before performing his hit Well Done, the mighty Gabby shared his memories of singing Francine.
It's real difficult in Trinidad, trust you me. But I think things changed a lot now because since then Biggie went down and he won and things like that. But it was hard, it was real hard. But I want to sing this song as a tribute to my friend Francine. We worked all over the place, all in New York, in Antigua. She was a brilliant woman, brilliant, and a great artist.
The Accounting Students Association at the UWI KFL campus have been seeking to make the transition from the classroom to the world of work easier for current students. The group mounted a two-day interview and recruitment fair for current students in conjunction with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados. President Etonia Antrobus is heartened by the response of both businesses and students.
We have over 20 businesses participating, most of which we would have received through our sponsor, ICAP. This is the most businesses we would have had participating in the fair, and we hope to maintain that number and to also increase it and to also provide more opportunities for students to get internships and jobs.
Representatives for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados and companies such as Rubis spoke about their roles in the sessions.
As a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados, we play a special role in assisting future accountants in development. So we're here today to conduct some mock interviews.
We believe that we have enough skills on board that we can help young students to develop by giving them that internship. But even before we get there, we believe that we have a role to play in helping them to prepare for the world of work in terms of from the CV all the way up to the interview. And hence, that's why we're here today, and that's why we come, because we believe that it helps Barbados to be a better place.
And the students were happy for the opportunity.
This was my first time. I actually did my first job interview yesterday, so it's a nerve-wracking but also exciting opportunity.
Having the opportunity to practice interviews here and interact with professionals in the fields that we would want to get into kind of sets the tone for, I think, how we would approach completing our degree. And it would also give us, in my opinion, a more insight into the field, especially with regards to what exactly we would want to do.
Let's turn our attention to sports now. The mission is to win. That's the word from new head coach Orlando Da Costa as Barbados takes on Grenada in 3 friendly football matches, all in preparation for the upcoming CONCACAF Nations League next month. The 23-man squad arrived in Grenada on Monday and will be desperate for good results in the lead-up to their international assignments. The Tridents are bottom of CONCACAF Group A in League B and must beat both Cuba and Antigua and Barbuda to avoid relegation to League C. Their opening fixture against the Spice Boys is set for later today at Fond St. Patrick. Then they will switch venues on Friday and head to the CLR James Stadium. The three-match series will come to a close on Sunday at the Cuthbert Peters Park.
We try to develop winning mentality, and second step is to create a game philosophy in game model with our principles of the game for the 5 moments of the game, because in the game, in my opinion, we have 5 moments. It means the offensive organization, defensive organization, and the offensive transition, defensive transition, and as well set pieces. So we must, and we want, and we did all this work, but you know, the time is short, but even short time, we try to do our best as a coach. Of course, this is our job.
And forward Jomo Harris says the mood in the camp is upbeat and the plans outlined by the head coach are straightforward.
He's preaching that we want to play a possession football, we want to be patient, we want to keep the ball if we can, go forward, keep it moving, keep it ticking, and he wants us to score goals as well. In the camp right now, the guys are happy. You know, we got a lot of youngsters ready to showcase and prove what they could do. We also got some experienced players. Yeah, we're missing some players that we had before. That is life. Yeah, but the vibe in the camp is good for now. We're just ready to play. Yeah, we just look for the win.
Let's take a look at the forecast conditions now recorded just moments ago at the Grantley Adams International Airport. At the moment, Barbados 23.4 degrees Celsius under fair conditions. The humidity stands at 75%. The barometer reads 1016 millibars. And the winds are coming from the east at 24 kilometers an hour. We should expect today a low tide at 19 minutes to 6 this evening, a high tide this morning at 21 minutes after 11, and the next is scheduled for 17 minutes to midnight. Seas moderate in open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and steady. In the forecast for Barbados today, a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief isolated light showers. And in the forecast for Barbados tonight, partly cloudy with a few brief isolated light showers. And these are some forecast conditions for some international cities. Well, that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Indeed, and a very good morning to everyone, everywhere. Thank you so much for waking up to keep us company on Morning Barbados. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of February, 2023, and I'm Pearson Bowen. Good having you company. Thank you so much for joining us on our streams on YouTube and on Facebook. We're always grateful for your interaction and for your company. Stay with us indeed, but share it with those who you know. Let them know that every morning that's what you wake up to, because it's the best way to wake up in the morning, Monday to Friday. Now, coming up today on Morning Barbados, of course, hopefully all fingers crossed and toes too, we get a chance to have some interaction with you as we seek to hear from you how we unscramble some letters and have a ball while we do that. Also today, you'll meet a young boy. He's 12 years old, but has the memory out of this world. As a matter of fact, his story is one that might inspire a lot of you, so stick around to find out who he is and this particular fascinating skill that he has. So that's quite a story not to miss. Of course, the UWI at KFL continues its celebrations of its 60th anniversary. And there are a number of things they still have planned. And so we want to share with you in the month of February what's on the calendar of events. And so Dr. Christina Hines, Senator Dr. Christina Hines, will join us this morning as she walks us through a number of events still on the calendar for the month of February. You should not miss it because they're all interesting and, dare I say, quite exciting indeed. Coming up, when we talk HR with HERMAB this morning, we want to look at HR's role, the human resources management role in organizational change. Change is the only constant we know, and how does HR help to navigate that change? That's what we're going to talk about when we're joined by HERMAB this morning. It's the month of February. It's also the month of celebrations in the parish of St. Peter, all leading up to the parish independence celebrations coming up in November. And so St. Peter, our representative, will join us this morning to share with all of you who are residents of St. Peter just what's on the calendar and how you can engage with them as well. But I want to get started this morning by celebrating success of Barbados' involvement in Expo Dubai and success of the first female road tennis champion coming out of that experience as well. Joining us this morning is Renata Mohammed, who is the Director of Investment and Marketing with Invest Barbados, and Emma Huang, who is the female road tennis champion coming out of that road tennis championship held as a result of Expo Dubai. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, Barbados, and good morning, Pearson.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'll start with you, Renata. Invest Barbados, we took a trip off to Expo Dubai. And while there, not just exposing the opportunities for technical and financial resources and support, but we got a chance to share with the folks there too just what we do here, our indigenous sport. Talk to me a little bit about how that went and what this tournament meant for Invest Barbados.
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. Invest Barbados, as a reminder, is the National Investment Promotion Agency of the Government of Barbados. Our role is to attract, retain, secure foreign direct investment, and as part of that journey, we connect with people. And what better way to connect with people through such things that we all identify with, things like music, like sports, like cuisine, like culture. And through sport, it has been an absolute pleasure to provide a platform in the international scene for our indigenous sport of road tennis. So while we were there representing Barbados and leading our presence at Expo 2020 Dubai, which was, almost a 8-month, year-long event, we took the opportunity to provide a platform for highlighting the sport of road tennis. Clinics were held. It was a 7-day clinic, and that clinic culminated in a tournament. Of course, the winner of that tournament, the female winner, is with us here in Barbados, and the male winner will be joining us shortly.
When you set out to do that, Invest Barbados, what was the response? What was the thinking by those who were there, the participation really? Describe that moment when you said, we're playing road tennis. The reaction must have been like, what? What are you talking about? So talk to me about that.
It took a partnership, so we want to immediately thank our colleagues from the Road Tennis Association, from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Development, and for the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. Because they joined us in being able to host this competition. This competition was hosted by Invest Barbados with the support of BTMI, British Airways, the resort, and Invest Barbados. But what did it take? It took logistical collaboration across the miles. It took our road tennis professionals going to Dubai on our behalf to actually lay the courts, paint them, collaborate with the sporting professionals in Dubai to explain what is road tennis, the basics, how is this thing played, and actually conduct the clinics. Huge kudos as well to the Invest Barbados team and others who are manning our booth at Expo Dubai, who did a wonderful job of promoting all that is road tennis, all that is Barbados, and the actual clinic and the competition.
And so from that, Emma evolved the female champion. Emma, talk to me a little bit about when you were first introduced to the sport of road tennis and your first thought about this whole concept of road tennis.
Hi. Well, first of all, let me take the opportunity to thank everyone here to welcoming to Barbados. Yes, indeed, I was invited at the very beginning of the week to come and discover this sport. And I was really interested into it because I used to play tennis and to see how it would be a different version of tennis. So I started playing for a week. There I had the chance to practice with top players from Barbados. It got very well, and I guess that's the reason why I'm here today with you.
Was it easy for you to understand the rules and the nuances of road tennis versus lawn tennis, for instance? Was it difficult or was it easy for you to catch the game?
So I think about the rules, it's okay. But I think that the techniques, it's a little different, and the way you hold the racket and your position on the court, everything is different. So I had to adapt myself to that. And that was great, discovering another way to play it.
But there's a lot of, one thing is playing lawn tennis, you're standing upright almost, but playing road tennis, you're crouched. And so it required you to use other muscle sets, I suppose. Getting yourself mentally and physically prepared for the championship, the competition that you were in, how was it for you? How many hours in the day did you take to get yourself to championship stage?
Well, I think it took me 3 to 4 hours a day during a week. And I kept practicing, I would never leave the court if I have the chance to practice. And there were many coaches, so they could always correct me and help me in getting better and better. So I think that practice is all.
So now that you know more about our indigenous sport of road tennis, do you like it?
Well, I love it. I love it. I'm very happy to discover it here in Barbados at its source. And I always have my road tennis racket with me, and I'm ready to play anytime.
Now that you're a champion and now you love it, what do you intend to do with this passion, this new passion of yours, in terms of expanding the sport where you are?
Well, I want to make it known to other people. I believe I already converted a couple of friends of mine who were into tennis or who were into paddle to start playing it. And I think that is definitely a great sport to be promoted. And also the atmosphere you play when you are in it, it's really great. I mean, everyone is around, everyone is enjoying. You can have a single play or a double play. So there's many ways to enjoy it.
Renata, I'm coming back to you now because I'd love to hope that she gets to play our female champion here as well, so that she could test herself against the best, literally the world's best here. Is there a plan for that opportunity for Emma to be able to play a female from Barbados?
Absolutely. So Emma has an enviable itinerary this week. Yesterday, she would have had the opportunity to go on a road tour of Barbados, take in the sights and sounds, again, experience who we are. And tomorrow being Thursday, she has a full day of road tennis as organized by the Road Tennis Association and the ministry. She's actually going to be playing on 3 courts across the island, and I know they have made very special arrangements for her to play some female counterparts, so that is included.
Are you in a position to share with us where she will be so that we can all come to see this wonderful champion coming here to Barbados to try to upset us in our own indigenous sport?
Her day starts at the sauna. Are you familiar with where the sauna is located?
No, but you can clarify it for us.
And it ends at the garrison. So from the sauna to the garrison, for sure she'll be at the garrison at the end of the day. It's nearest to our office. I'm looking forward to joining her for that one. And that's going to be in the afternoon.
All right, so we'll of course pay attention to the media here. We'll let you know just exactly where Emma will be. So Emma, what do you think of Barbados now that you've had some time to take a little run around our little island?
Well, it is such a great country. I could have a taste of it already in Dubai because there were many people from Barbados and they were playing music and sharing with me its culture. But enjoying it from here, tasting it. As Renata said, we had an Iceland tour yesterday. It was an awesome, it was a great day. I mean, we could see the very different part of the country. I mean, it is a very, very, very nice and tasteful country, and people are very welcoming. I think this is all about it also. The hospitality of Barbados people is great, and we feel good directly.
It is who we are. And so now that you have your skill set and you have your championship behind you, are you planning eventually, Emma, to be able to host tournaments in different spaces across Dubai and other parts of Europe?
Yes, for sure. Let's think about it together and let's make it happen.
Invitation accepted indeed. And so Renata, what's next? Now that we have the champion here, you said to me the male champion will be coming soon to experience what Emma is currently experiencing. But looking forward through the pages of Invest Barbados and trying to capitalize on all the other opportunities that would flow from the Expo Dubai, what else do you think is going to be that thing that we can all be so immensely proud of following Expo Dubai?
As per Expo Dubai, of course, we would have since opened a diplomatic presence in the United Arab Emirates, and we would have sensitized persons about Barbados. Very often you're introducing Barbados to the world beyond a tourism destination. So we expect increased business flows. That has been happening thus far. A note and a reminder that we would have also played a role in introducing road tennis to Rwanda. We would have had a business mission to Rwanda and Kenya, and very proud to note that there are road tennis courts in Rwanda. I saw some recent footage. In addition to the ones that we helped to lay, others have since surfaced around the country, and the sport is picking up in popularity. So we will continue as we continue with our investment promotion efforts around the world to include the other elements that tell the story of who we are, inclusive of sport.
That's Renata Mohammed, Director of Investment and Marketing with Invest Barbados. And just beneath her on your screen is that female road tennis champion coming out of Expo Dubai 2000. Indeed, applause indeed. Emma Hoang, welcome to Barbados. I hope, and all the best with your future endeavors in our indigenous sport. I really hope that you continue to tell all of your friends, all of your other tennis playing friends, to get involved, to get to love what you now love yourself. And I wish you well. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome indeed. Welcome indeed. She is on the island and there's some other games. She's going to be playing at least 3 more tournaments along the South Coast. We'll tell you exactly where she will be in coming days so that you can follow and see for yourself why she is a female champion coming out of Expo Dubai. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 and a half minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we turn our attention to St. Peter. This is the month of February, and in the lead up to the National Independence celebrations, they're going to be having parish months. And so St. Lucy went first in January. Now it's the turn of St. Peter. Joining us is a member of the St. Peter Independence Parish Committee, Kevin Howell. He'll talk to us a little bit about what one can expect to be happening in St. Peter. Kevin, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm thankful, thanks.
Good. I see you're wearing your parish colors, man. That's good. That's good.
Of course. Have to represent.
Of course, represent indeed. Now, this is Parish Month. And talk to me a little bit about what you guys have been doing and will be doing for the rest of the month.
Okay. This month, we actually started with a church service at Seventh-day Adventist Church, Mile Quarter 1. Then we had a heritage hike on the 11th. Our feature event for this month is the poetry. It's the poetry night. This is an annual event which showcases St. Peter award-winning poets. This will be held at the picturesque Dover Fort, which is located at Porish Parish School. This year, with it being celebrated, the focus is on youth who live, work, or attend school in St. Peter. However, Antargils, one of our award-winning poets, is also participating. Malachi Ho, who represented St. Peter at the Spirit of the Nation show in 2022, along with the students of the All Saints Primary and Porish Parish School. This is also an initiative which will encourage students to start writing their own poetry and build their confidence performing their pieces on stage. We are also looking for an attendant who is to chaperone the ambassadors. No age limit is to this one, as well as ambassadors between both male and female between the ages of 18 and 30 years old to join our team to represent St. Peter.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about that.
This program provides training in conflict resolution.
Yes.
As we will be attracting a reviewing personality. Sorry.
All right, Kevin, don't worry. So, Kevin, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment, but I want to zone in on the poetry night in particular for just a moment. The poetry night is when? When is it?
It's on the 27th, the 24th of February.
This month, this coming weekend. This weekend, today's the 22nd, that means that Thursday is the 23rd, Friday. So Friday, walk with me, Kevin, walk slowly with me because I want to make sure everybody gets it. On Friday, we're going to be having poetry night. What time does it start?
Starts at 7 p.m.
All right, at 7 p.m. and it's right there at Dover Fort, and it's on the grounds. You're overlooking then the Haywoods area. Is that where you're going to be at the CP school?
Yes, please.
Good.
Picture perfect.
I know. I went to school there, my brother. We know that space, so we know exactly what a panoramic view it truly is. And is it going to be right there by the cannon?
It's going to be actually, you're going to be backing the cannons. The stage is going to be on the pasture of itself, but you actually see the cannons as well. So the cannons are part of the whole ambience.
I get you. So it's right there near the staff room. So that's where it's going to be, and it's going to be well lit. So it's you go to CP, so it's going to be ample parking spaces there indeed. And so we want to invite as many people from St. Peter on Friday night to come down to the Dover Fort at Coleridge and Parish School for Poetry Night. And while there, you'll see performances from the All Saints Primary School, performances from the Coleridge and Parish School, and some other notable poets from the parish of St. Peter. And so that's happening this Friday night. I think that's going to be such an exciting activity indeed.
And it's free of cost.
That's important too. It's absolutely free of cost. Something tells me that refreshments will be on sale. Am I right?
Yes, please. Refreshments will be on sale.
There you go. So, folks of St. Peter, Friday night, starting at 7, on the grounds of the Coleridge and Parish School, right there by Dover Fort, overlooking the fort. And when you overlook the fort, you're getting a good, beautiful view of the Haywoods area onto the sea. You get a piece of Port St. Charles. All of that you're going to see lit up at night. And so that's where the Poetry Night will be on Friday night, all part of the activities for St. Peter. Now, you also said that you're looking for parish ambassadors and for an attendant as well. What is it? What do people now in St. Peter need to do so that they put themselves forward? How do they contact you?
We can be contacted through our various social media platforms. Our email address is stpeterpic@gmail.com. Our Twitter account is team_St. Peter. Our Facebook account is St. Peter Independence Committee. Parish Independence Committee, sorry.
Right. So find them on social, but you can send an email to stpeterpic@gmail.com and put forward yourself.
Or you can get hold of our chairman, Mr. Greg Agard. His telephone number is 850-3294. Or Miss Leah Morris, 834-1293.
Right. And so what ages are you looking for as parish ambassadors?
The ages is between 18 years and 30 years old.
Right. And I mean, you don't have to be a star, but you'll be made a star because, as you said, lots of coaching clinics. But once you want to serve your community and see yourself between that age range, between 8 and 30, and you know you can do just as other parish ambassadors have done so outstandingly for the parish of St. Peter, you should put yourself forward, right?
Yes, please.
Is there a deadline for anyone who wants to volunteer to be a parish ambassador or to volunteer to be an attendant for submission?
Yeah, we are looking for them as soon as possible, which would have been by the end of March.
Okay. So we have until the end of March to put ourselves forward. And that's the whole, talk to me a little bit about the beauty of St. Peter now. And, you know, as a parish and the people of St. Peter and why, you know, we should all rally around St. Peter in this month of February.
One, we have Party Hill, which is a national treasure. We also have the Wildlife Reserve. We have 2 ports, which is Port Ferdinand, Port St. Charles. Lovely fishing villages. You have Six Men's Fishing Village. You also have Spikestone Fish Market.
Right.
The lovely Fisherman's Pub. You can go there, enjoy beautiful lunches. Never forget the beautiful St. Nicholas Abbey, where they not only put on the train tracks.
Yes.
A beauty to have.
Yeah. You know, and if you've never been to the parish of St. Peter, you are missing out, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who live in the south of the island, that's what you tend to do. You think north is far. You are so wrong. North is where it's at, as we like to say in Barbados in bad English, but nonetheless, you know, you take a way down and you come down the highway, and before you know it, you're into mile and a quarter and you are in St. Peter. But even before that, you are still in St. Peter because there's so many other areas. The Hayman's Factory, which is now being redeveloped. That is in the parish of St. Peter as well. There are many schools you can visit in the parish of St. Peter. There are many outstanding people from the parish of St. Peter too. So take some time on the weekend. Perhaps you might want to make your first trip into St. Peter on Friday night for the Poetry Night at the Coleridge and Parish School in Ashton Hall. And if you're lost a little, ask somebody. They'll direct you exactly where to go. The buses. The Coddletown bus, the Coddletown Joseph bus. What other buses from the Bridgetown terminal come through?
You have the Indian Ground bus. You have the St. Lucie Park, the St. Lucie's Church. You have the Boston Bell.
Yeah. So,
and if you are lost, you can also use Google. It works.
Hear you talking, Kevin. So all of those are modes of transportation to bring you into the beautiful parish of St. Peter. And when you're there, you explore, take your time, land in Speightstown and move out from there, and let Speightstown be your central point if you wish. And you will find so many hidden gems in the parish of St. Peter. And that's what this month allows all of you in Barbados to explore with the people of the St. Peter through the Parish Independence Committee. But there's a poetry night on Friday night. It starts at 7. It's absolutely free. It's on the grounds of the Coleridge and Parish School, right there by the Dover Fort, overlooking the picturesque Haywoods area, and you have to be there. Again, remind us on Friday night, Kevin, who will be performing?
We have the performance from Malachi Hope, who represented us in the Spirit Nation 2022. We also have Antar Jilts, one of our leading award-winning poets. We also have the youth from the Coleridge and Parish School and from the All Saints Primary School.
And so it's going to be a spectacular night. Come in your numbers, come prepared. Or is there seating, or you bring your own blankets and just relax?
Some seating will be provided, but you can bring your blanket. You can relax on the lawn, area. Beautiful area.
Man. As we do at Coleridge and Parish, we invite you in. We want you to come down and see what we explore and expand. And so we want you to be all there on Friday night at 7 o'clock for the start of this really wonderful occasion, Poetry Night, on the grounds of the Coleridge and Parish School overlooking the Dover Fort. It's going to be fantastic. Kevin, I want to wish you and your committee all the very best with your continued activities in the month of February and for the remaining months leading into the Spirit of the Nation show in November. I really hope that some young people come forward and volunteer to be a part of the program, that you find your 2 parish ambassadors very, very quickly. Remember, folks, between the ages of 18 and 30, you can put yourself forward as a volunteer to be the parish ambassadors for your parish of St. Peter, or you can put yourself forward to be the attendant for your parish of St. Peter and represent proudly, as Kevin does and Kevin has indeed. Kevin Howell, thank you so much. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good day, everybody.
Likewise indeed. You're very welcome. Kevin Howell from the parish of St. Peter. Now, before we go to break and before we go to the news, let's celebrate some black excellence. Who are we remembering today to bring into your focal point as a black person, and who has been outstanding? As a matter of fact, we deem them excellent. Who are we talking about today? We're talking about Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier was a Bahamian and American actor, film director, and a diplomat. In the early 50s, that is the 1950s, he was the top and virtually sole African-American film star, the first black actor to become a hero to both black and white audiences. In 1964, he was the first black actor and first Bahamian to win the Academy Award for Best Actor. He received 2 competitive Golden Globe Awards, a competitive BAFTA Award, that is the British Academy of Film and Television Arts Award, and a Grammy Award for the Best Spoken Word Album. He was known as quite a gentleman indeed. Sidney Poitier, a Bahamian, but a black man. So today we celebrate black excellence in the form of Sidney Poitier. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with the news in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Spot on 7 o'clock in Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Time to update you on the news. A caution this morning to Barbadians against declaring that Phase 1 of the compact has failed is coming from the President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Anthony Branker, who spoke with CBC News about the second phase of the social compact. He says the private sector's participation is as a result of their desire to be socially responsible.
If we were still at our fixed markups across the manufacturers, retailers, distributors, persons would have seen different prices. And therefore, as I said before, it was a mechanism to cap the pricing, to reduce, to buffer that pricing. And therefore, the persons would not have felt the full effects through the first compact. Government also would have removed the value-added tax on some items to accompany the basket of goods. And they also removed duties on some items. So the first compact was not only the fixed markup, but it had complementing it the removal of VAT, and it also had the removal of duty. So the combination of the support from the retailers, distributors, manufacturers, and government, and labor, I should say, really made the first compact a success, yes.
Mr. Branker says the participants of this social compact were heavily burdened owing to a limit on the markups applied, even as international prices continued to rise. He says participation by other members of the private sector is required for a Phase 3. The BCCI president believes their inclusion will result in a further reduction in the cost of living in Barbados.
I can't see a Phase 3 social compact with just the retailers, distributors, and manufacturers. I think that there could be a role for the Barbados Private Sector Association to pull more business sectors into a possible Phase 3. Because it is not fair to ask retail and distribution and manufacturers to carry this load exclusively. We all interact with other areas of business, and therefore I think that a Phase 3 cannot be structured in the way that Phases 1 and 2 was structured. So I think that a Phase 3 could be possible if the base is broadened, and therefore the average Barbadian, rather than just looking for a savings when they go into the supermarket, can look for some benefit elsewhere. The average Barbadian can understand that when we go about our lives over the course of a week, yes, we interact with the supermarket, but there are a number of other services that we interact with that we somehow have left out of this arrangement. And it isn't reasonable and fair to just expect supermarkets and distributors and some manufacturers to carry the load of reducing the impact of the imported inflation on Barbadians.
Barbados has recorded 2 more COVID-19 deaths during the period February 4th to 17th, bringing the total now to 575. That's according to the Ministry of Health's latest COVID-19 stats. In addition, 211 new cases of the viral illness were diagnosed out of 1,963 tests conducted during the period. As of the 17th of February, 13 people were hospitalized, and since March 2020, the total number of 645 cases have been diagnosed. Meanwhile, 60% of the population has received at least 1 dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, while 57.2% are fully vaccinated. It appears another local financial institution has fallen victim to hackers. The situation has left thousands of customers of a local credit union seeking answers after several of its services were affected. CBC News understands Bridgetown Cooperative Credit Union is currently investigating a possible cybersecurity attack on its network. As a result, the credit union's clients have been unable to use their cards, whether at the ATM or for other services. The COB app is also offline, along with other online banking services offered by the institution. A notice in the form of an email has been sent to customers alerting them to what COB has termed technical difficulties currently being experienced and the impact on its network. Information reaching CBC News has also indicated credit union officials are looking into the matter and are expected to issue a statement in coming days. COB has extended its opening hours to accommodate customers as it moves to restore the network. Government's Special Advisor on Heritage Development in the Division of Culture, Senator John King, believes more needs to be done to ensure the legacies of departed artists live on. He made the call as he addressed attendees at a recent event hosted by the Barbados Association of Creatives to pay tribute to the late singing Francine. Several upcoming and seasoned performers took to the stage at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park to pay homage to the Calypso icon. King insists all attempts must be made to ensure current and future generations know of trailblazers like Singing Francine and others.
Often, we are so caught up in the present that we either forget or ignore those sages who paved the way for us. You know, when I listened to Wayne just now, I thought he had read what he was writing. There's no Rihanna without a Singing Francine or Carolyn Leacock. Thank you. You can clap. And countless others who have transitioned, breaking ground many years ago, making it fertile for new generations of artists to plant their creative seeds. I want to suggest that we seek to establish a shift in consciousness about who we are as a people. That artists, such as Singing Francine, must have a rightful place in our story. We must capture it in literature, in film, and also in the Music Hall of Fame.
Well, before performing his hit, Well Done, the mighty Gabby shared his memories of Singing Francine.
It's real difficult in Trinidad, trust you me. But I think things changed a lot now because since then Biggie went down and he won and things like that. But it was hard, it was real hard. But I want to sing this song as a tribute to my friend Francine. We worked all over the place, all in New York, in Antigua. She was a brilliant woman, brilliant, and a great artist.
Well, that's the news. Until now, we'll have more news on TV8 at 12 noon in the CBC Newsday. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 9 minutes now after 7 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. This is one of our big segments. We're talking HR with Hermab today, and joining us representing Hermab today is Sonia Lane Gartside, a friend of ours, an award-winning global consultant in strategy, leadership, and a whole lot more. Sonia, good morning to you.
Good Good morning, Pearson. It's wonderful to see you again.
It is always wonderful to see you as well. We're tackling today a very big topic. We're talking about organizational change, but we're also looking at the role of HR in managing that organizational change. And they say change is the only constant. And some people will probably say, but you know, when I set up my business, I set it up in this way for that singular purpose. Why do I need to change? And what do you say to that?
Well, do you want to survive? Because if you want to survive, that's the only thing that helps you to thrive and survive. Change, right? It's the company, the person most adaptable to change, that is the one that is going to thrive and survive in the future. So I don't think that, you know, we need to make a long pitch there. That's basically it. Yeah.
And you change because circumstances, the environment changes as well. And people's expectations of you will change too. And if you stay nimble, you succeed. If you stay like a rock in sand, you're going to find failure and doom. And so approaching the mission of the organization is no doubt going to be critical, because the organization's mission also has to change to meet the times. And so let's talk a little bit about organizational change and what are some of the challenges. I know the obvious result, but what are some of the challenges to organizational change as you see it?
Well, change is difficult. And generally we like to say people want things to get better, but they don't want to do anything different. And so the people generally don't like change, particularly change that they don't have any control over. And so when it comes to organizations, they face two main challenges. Number one is resistance, where people are not aware, they don't support the change, and so they do things both consciously and unconsciously to resist the change. And I'm sure lots of people have heard the term where 70% of organizational change efforts fail. And that's generally a lot because of that number one reason, resistance. People don't understand it, people doubt it, people get fearful, and they resist. And then, of course, the second one is change fatigue, because again, in order to thrive, you have to pivot, you have to adapt. And so people in organizations get tired. They're like, we're constantly changing. Nothing seems to be changing except the fact that we're supposed to be changing. And so those are the two major challenges when you go to organizations. You usually find that they're battling in order to enact an initiative or project.
And the reason you can stay so positive is because you understand the nuances of the change, you know, the fact that you're the storming, the norming, performing, blah, blah, blah. And so, but it's difficult when you are part of that process and you don't quite understand what it is that you're trying to achieve. And as you said, sometimes the fatigue sets in. It's like, oh my goodness, again? You know, why are we doing this again? Was it at the past? Can HR help employees and also perhaps managers and directors handle that change?
Yeah, so HR is the one that really provides the support systems and the trainings to help employees deal with change. And the first one is obviously communication, because you really want to help employees to understand why we are changing so that they can get on board and desire it. They can participate and engage in it. And so if you have series of changes, for example, you want to explore and explain why we've gone from one to the other. And so one of the key things that we want HR needs to help employees understand is there's a reason why we're changing. We're not just doing it to make you miserable. Another thing that HR needs to ensure is that they're helping people to understand what the impact of the change is, right? When you're changing something, there's an impact on the different employee groups. And so HR is the one that really helps to go out there and say, hey, this is how this is going to impact X group. And in order to ensure that we don't have resistance, let's address what their main concerns would be, and let's put in place something that will help them to welcome the change and not fear it and say, no, I'm not with this. And people don't always tell you that overtly, but unconsciously and subtly they tell you we're not down with this change.
You're quite right on that score, for sure. But you know, sometimes we think that HR officers are built of board They're so with it, and you can't understand sometimes the emotions that HR practitioners also have about the change. So I want you to share some advice for those HR practitioners now who are responsible for communicating that message to get the buy-in from the staff, but at the same time they're managing their own emotions about the change too.
Yes, I always like to say that I'm a change manager, and I totally get it because I hate change. And so when I go into organizations, I'm like, I know exactly how you feel. I'm with you. So this is a really great point to put out. So first of all, understand that you don't have to do it alone. Hermab is here. This is why Hermab is doing the boot camp. And, one of their pillars is going to be managing change. Its sponsor, pillar champion, is Deloitte. And so you don't have to do it alone. Don't be a lone ranger. Go with other HR practitioners and leaders, and they will help you. Number two, you have to process and manage the change yourself first before you can help other people do it. And so that's where we say there are three major questions we ask. What's the purpose of this change? What would be the change that what would be the impact on me? How will I process it? And you do that to yourself first, and then you can be able to help other people. So those are my two major recommendations for HR practitioners, and it's so important that they pay attention to themselves, because you are absolutely right. They pay attention to everyone, and then they have nothing to give. Their cup is empty.
Exactly. I mean, we see it on the airplanes all the time. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, this will drop. Apply it to yourself first before you apply it to someone else. And that principle also applies in everything we do. Care for oneself so that you can better care for others as well. But there's some mistakes that HR practitioners would probably make in trying to get the whole organization to shift to the change that is achieved. What are some of the pitfalls that they need to be mindful of so that you can plan ahead and prepare for?
Yes, I would say number one is always poor communication. You have to get ahead and shape and lead change. And to do that, you need to really have a communication plan. And so that's a pitfall that HR practitioners should avoid. Be engaged. There's no such thing when there's a change as over communication. You cannot communicate too much because it's essential. We like to say in change management that for an employee to hear something and really hear it, you need to say it 7 times in different ways. So you must over communicate. The second thing would be to ensure that you have a change framework. So a change framework, for example, I use ProSci, certified in ProSci, enables you to ensure that you're doing it in a systematic way and that you're not leaving things out. So a framework is essential. And then the third, probably the most important, is the sponsorship of leaders. You have to get leaders on board. We know that in change, the senior leaders are important for sponsoring, but if you really want the change to be implemented and to stick, middle managers are the key. And so they need to be provided with systems, training support to do that. So if you fail to do any one of those three, then you're falling into a trap that I believe is easily avoided. Change is hard by itself.
Yes.
So you don't really want to fall into the easily avoided traps that set you back.
The other thing is to avoid the perception by those who are going to be a part of the change that it is just mere words. One, you're going to get that person who says, been there before, done that, you're going to change in the next 2 years anyhow, so why do I have to even bother myself, exerting myself to make the change that you want me to make now? Or you say we should change, but look, you're letting that side get away with. So how do we deal with that, and how seriously should we take that when we are implementing organizational change?
Oh, you should take that very seriously, because that's the real work. That's why we're doing the communication, to build the awareness for change, because people very much will say and point out to you. And if you don't take that seriously, and if you don't address it, and when I say address it, it means don't dismiss it. Don't say, oh, that's not important, you don't know what you're thinking, but actually say, hey, when we consider this, I can see how you come to that conclusion, and here's how and why it will not be affect us this way. And so that change fatigue, where every 5 minutes you come in a rush and a hurry and say, if we don't change, we'll never survive. And then nothing happens. And then next year you go, if we don't change. What you have to do is you have to acknowledge the change that went before, what is the status of it, how it's going to impact and be affected with the new change that is in. And that's where changing path comes. That's why we say you must have a framework, and that's why we say you can never, ever over communicate in change, because that's where success lies, in answering those questions.
Measuring and maintaining the change as well, because you must be able to sustain it for it to become a habit. And you just talked about repeating something 7 times in 7 different ways kind of thing. But, you know, because you've done it and you sit back and you say, well, we did it. And that's a fact. You did do it. But how do you make sure it becomes a habit, a way of life? How do you build that into the change management plan?
Oh, such a great question, because people do workarounds. You build a system, you train people on the system, and then you come back, you look away for 1 minute, come back, and you find that they have built a workaround where they have prioritized their comfort zone. And so it's really it's important in reinforcement that you have coaching, that you have training, that you have follow-up. And so when you have a great system, reinforcement is a concept that you really spend time on. After you implement the change, you don't go, break sigh of relief, it's over. You realize now is the time to redouble my efforts to ensure that people truly understand it. There are not people out there who are still confused, but they don't want to admit it because they look around and people look like they know what's going on, and I don't want to be the one to raise my hand. So you make it easy for people to say, hey, yeah, I can use some coaching on this. Yeah, I can use some additional training or communication. So a reinforcement stage, that last stage, as you rightly pointed out, is so important.
I can hear an HR practitioner probably saying, but it's only me and 2 other people in this space called the HR department. How can I don't do this for this large organization to ensure the change, to monitor the change, to make sure the change is entrenched? How can I do it all? And so the frustration sets in. So what advice would you give to them to avoid the frustration? Because they know it's important, but they also know their realities. It's just the few.
Well, you're not to do it alone. That, you know, we say this over and over again. You have an entire leadership team. You have people involved. You are spearheading. You are facilitating. And so don't be, we like to say, the Lone Ranger. You have an organization and you really need to know. That's why a framework is important, because you know how to deputize and say, okay, we need help. You upskill leadership because they are supposed to help you with this. As we say, we know middle managers are the key to sustaining change. And so if you are going to have them helping you, then you need to train and upskill them. And that way you create a team of people and you're not doing it alone. If you're doing it alone, I don't like hard and fast rules, but I like to say you're doing it wrong. You will burn out.
You got that right. You're quite right on that. See why now you have to sign up for the boot camp, folks. All of you practitioners of HR, it is so important. Go to the website hrmab.org.bb, hermab.org.bb, and sign up for the boot camp. It's in March. So you're signing up early to make sure you secure your space and to benefit from the many pillars and the many organizational experts who know it. Sonia Lane Gartside is one of them, and certainly we want you to be a part of it too. So remember, membership comes with benefits. As I keep saying every time we have this segment, become a member of HERMAB. Become a member of HERMAB. hermab.org.bb, and in signing up, sign up for the boot camp as well. Sonia, thank you so much as always. It is so wonderful interacting with you, and your knowledge is fantastic. So do look forward to seeing you again really soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome indeed. Sonia Lane Gartside, indeed, what an award-winning woman indeed we had with us this morning as we were talking HR with HERMAB, looking at organizational change and the role of HR in managing that change as well. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Back Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 2.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're now 26 minutes as a matter of fact to be more precise. After 7 o'clock here on Morning Barbados today, we turn our attention to the continuing activities of the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill, marking that 60th anniversary, as we are at the CBC as well, but continuing to be significant players in our community, engaging and empowering the peoples of Barbados. I'm joined this morning by a familiar voice and a familiar face to so many of you, Senator Dr. Christina Hines, who is, and mind you, let me tell you what she does. It's so much that she does at the University of the West Indies. She's a senior lecturer and head of the Department of Government Sociology, Social Work and Psychology in the Faculty of Social Sciences, on and on and on. And she's a senator as well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's good to sit across from you. I hear you, I see you in Parliament and all the rest of it, but it's good to have you face to face for just a little while. But congratulations on the anniversary that the UWI is marking.
Thank you. Thank you on behalf of the campus. And as you may know, the UWI is also celebrating its 75th anniversary.
Yes.
So we have a double anniversary this year and so many activities to mark both of these.
Yeah, I know you started beautifully because we were there as part of the big walk around the campus, of the walking tour, and ending with a big party under the tent and all the rest of it. We've been on the hike in the parish of St. Michael. I know there's another parish hike in February in St. Lucy.
Yes, that is actually on Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday. The hikes are generally on Sundays. We have 11 hikes. And so we'll be going through all of the parishes. But this weekend, the hike will be on Saturday because we also have our Interfaith service on Sunday.
Right.
So Saturday, we'll be going to Cove Bay in the parish of St. Lucy, and that promises to be, it's beautiful. I spoke to some of the people that went on the reconnaissance and they had a good time. There are two speeds for the hike. There's the stop and stare. So those are the people that just want to have a leisurely walk and to learn about the history of the area. And then there's the medium and fast pace. That's the more serious hikers. But each of these routes will have historians to tell us a bit about the area. And registration ends on Thursday. Tomorrow. So anyone who is interested in participating in the hike, you have to register by Thursday at 12 noon. There will be no registration on site. So it'll be really fun.
Yeah.
It's $20 for adults and $15 for children. And last time we had a really good time. There were a lot of children there and they learned a lot. It was good to be outdoors and learning while you're outdoors. So I would encourage people to get in touch. We have some shirts, like my shirt, the t-shirt, and those shirts are $20. And there are also these polo shirts, but people don't wear these on the hikes. And there's so much that you can also purchase in our bookstore to mark the 60th anniversary.
You know, if you've never been to St. Lucie, folks, and you've never been to Cove Bay, you got to go this time around because, and as a St. Lucie man, I can tell you, get to understand that rock face that you see and why it is the way it is. Get to understand a little bit about the caves that are in the area as well, and the people who have been a part of the civilization, really, who've been a part of that development of the area as well. So every good reason for you to be there this Saturday. And the hikes start at what time?
The hike starts at, well, you're supposed to be there between 2:30 and 3 for a 3:30 start, and actually the t-shirts are $25 for the hike. If you don't have a t-shirt or you don't want to purchase a t-shirt, we're also encouraging people to wear fuchsia because that is supposed to be the color for the parish of St. Lucie.
Yes, it's a beautiful color. Stop it, I'm a man for a St. Lucie, don't do that to me. So this historic hike will be on, folks, and it's part of the activities for the UWI Cave Hill's 60th anniversary. But I want to turn our attention now to the CLR James Symposium.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about that, because he himself, as an outstanding man of the Caribbean from Trinidad and Tobago, lived quite a storied life.
Well, this symposium is important because it also marks another 60th anniversary, and that is the 60th anniversary of Beyond a Boundary. So the symposium is actually called the Beyond a Boundary Symposium. That's the title this year. And this will be held on Friday, the 24th So that's this coming Friday at 1:30. So at 1:30 we have the symposium where we will hear from Dr. Cora Belgrave. She's a lecturer in linguistics and communication studies and the head of the Department of Language, Linguistics and Literature. Professor Don Marshall, professor in international political economy and development studies, and he also heads our Celicis Institute. Dr. Tennyson Joseph, senior lecturer in political science, and Professor Hamid Ghani, who is joining us from St. Augustine. So that's during the day. And the evening, we will then have a lecture starting at 7 p.m. from Professor Sir Hilary Beckles. So this will be quite an enjoyable, intellectually stimulating day. So with a hike, we have the body, and then we have the mind. So we have some mind and body, and all of these events are free.
Yes.
So the public can attend. There may be the requirement to register, but this is just so that we know our numbers, and these things will also be broadcast on UETV, and that's online at uwitv.org.
Yes. We just shared with you folks the poster on your screen. I know you're watching, so you're paying attention to the information as well and writing it down to be sure to be a part of it. And if you know nothing about CLR James and Beyond the Boundary, and you know cricket, then you know Beyond the Boundary indeed. But a man who was born in Trinidad and Tobago, emigrated to the UK at some point, was in the US, was set out of the US. I mean, literally set out of the US back to Trinidad. But an agitator, a real strong agitator.
An agitator, a thought leader. Yeah. Some people may think that Beyond the Boundary is just about cricket, but it goes far beyond that. Yes. It really talks about the region, and much of what James had to say continues to be relevant today. If we think about what is happening in Haiti as well, James definitely had a lot to say about that revolution in the Black Jacobins. So a really important intellectual for the Caribbean then and now. So I would encourage people, if you don't know about James's work, or if you do, to come and hear a little bit about the reflections that UWI scholars have on his life and works. And as I mentioned, if you can't come in person, this will be broadcast as well on UWI TV, which is online.
And it's not just a conversation, it's going to be an academic conversation, because his work also, I'm sure, being used as a template for how do we change education, how do we make education relevant, how do we respond to the times through education, which is another one of his passions as well. And so this symposium is going to be absolutely critical. Remember, how can we register, by the way, for that? So we get our space.
You can register by sending an email to principal@cavehill.uwi.edu. So I'll repeat that, principal, that's P-A-L, that principal, at cavehill.uwi.edu. You're supposed to do that by the 20th, which was a couple of days ago, but we are not going to turn people back. So feel free to contact us, and we will be able to register persons.
Right, there too. So on Friday at 1:30 and again at 7 in the evening, the symposium will be in the 3W's Pavilion, the lecture at the Walcott Warner Theatre at the Arabara Center for Creative Imagination. That's happening on Friday. The information is right there on your screen. Then there's going to be the Caribbean Canada Institute Symposium.
Yes. So we have a lot happening. That begins on the 23rd. That runs the 23rd to the 25th. The topic is on decoloniality.
Yes.
So that's a word that I'm not sure if everyone knows, but it really speaks about the colonial condition and how we move past that. So it begins at 9 a.m. That's the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony will be streamed. Persons are free to join from 11 a.m. in person. And again, there is a registration requirement for that one. However, it's free again.
Yes.
So you can register at https://uwi.edu/ccrs. I hope that
Don't
people
kill
can
yourself.
see
It's
that.
all on the screen. It's all on the screen, folks. It's right at the bottom of your screen.
It is there. Thankfully, it is
and
there.
what we will do is we'll post this information also on our social media so you can have access to it as well. But you know, you can always go to the website for UWI and or their social media as well. You see it there. You can follow along for yourself, but register for this. It's going to be quite an interesting symposium. Again, looking at the decolonization of the way we think, the way we project ourselves as we think, you know, it's wonderful to celebrate our 60th anniversary as the UWI Cave Hill. But who will we be 10 years from now. And it's to be able to understand what we're challenged with now and what we will be challenged with and prepare ourselves to meet those challenges. And that's what the University of the West Indies continue to develop.
Yes, to meet those challenges and in different ways as well. So we don't want to continue repeating our past patterns. So it is important to reflect on these so that we can think about how we operate in this world and in the region differently.
Yeah. It's so, and that has been the role of the UWI, being rooted and resilient all the way through.
Definitely. We started as a very small campus, 118 students at the beginning, and we have produced over 40,000 graduates in the 60 years, and we're still continuing to do so. So this is a really important occasion for us to mark, and for us also as a campus to think about where we are going, where we have come from, and where we are going.
And when you think of that, what do you think? Where we're going and where we've come from?
We have come a long way. I have been at the campus for 15 years, and even in that time, I've seen so much change on the campus. We've expanded in many different ways. We've added several programs at the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate level. We've added new faculties. We have a faculty of culture. We have a faculty of sport. We have a faculty of medicine, which we didn't have when I first went to the campus. So there's so much that we do there. There are various institutes that we don't just teach, but they also do research. And people may not know a lot about this research, but it really is important research for the region in the areas of health, biosecurity, climate change. We have award-winning studies on climate change, politics, across the board, science and technology. We do so much on the campus, and we hope that this anniversary will be an opportunity for people to connect with us and learn more about what we do.
Absolutely. And so it starts with a Thanksgiving service on Sunday. Well, it starts, but there's going to be having that Interfaith service on Sunday.
Yes.
Where is that service going to be?
That will be held on campus under our graduation tent.
The big tent.
Yes, and it is a multi-faith service, so we will have representation from different Christian denominations. We also have the Hindu, Baha'i, Muslim. All will be represented, and these are our chaplains on campus that will be representing us.
So let's walk through this calendar of events again for you folks. Remember, starting tomorrow and running until the 25th is the Canada Caribbean Institute Symposium. That is going to be one that you should not miss, and you ought to go register. Look at the registration information at the bottom of your screen. That's where you need to go to register. It's absolutely free. Looking at
Decoloniality.
Thank you so much. That big word. Past, present, and future directions. And it's going to be quite exciting. A good way for us to have some introspection, but then to be able to talk about our future as well. That's happening then. On the 24th of the month, there are a couple of things happening. There is going to be the CLR James lecture and symposium. One that starts at 1:30. The next happens at 7 in the evening. The symposium will be in the 3Ws Pavilion. The lecture in the Walcott Warner Theatre at the Arabaro Centre for Creative Imagination. And so we want to encourage all of you to be a part of it beyond a boundary, looking at the contribution of CLR James, this distinguished outstanding Caribbean man. And we want you to be a part of that as well. Continuing on the 24th is going to be the Parish hike.
Yes.
The Parish hike, and we're going to St. Lucie for the historic hike. On the 25th, we will all gather at Cove's Cave in St. Lucie. The registration point is right there, remember, and all the information that you need to have as it relates to getting your t-shirt, getting your foot gear and everything together. But be there early, because the hike will start around 3:30, and we are really exploring all of the areas within the area there at Cove's Cave in St. Lucie. It's not difficult to get there. Ask any one of us from St. Lucie. We'll give you directions as to how to get there.
And
you're lost, right?
People can meet at the Parish Church, at St. Lucie Parish Church, because we will have some individuals who will be guiding people that don't quite know how to get there.
Oh, that's an added plus. That's wonderful to hear. So you can meet at St. Lucie Parish Church to be led into the area of Cove's Cave. But it's easy. Take it from me. It's easy indeed to get there indeed. And, so there are a number of things happening. We want to encourage as many of you as possible to be a part of everything that's happening at the UWI KFIL campus. Remember, it's our university. We are all beneficiaries of the work of the university, and there are many people within your own families who are beneficiaries as well. So don't sit on the sideline and think, oh, that's for them, that's for those academics. No, the university is a place open to all of us, and because it's open to all of us, we are all of us celebrating with the university in this celebration year. And so get your t-shirts, go to the bookshop and pay, and be a part of everything that you can be a part of, but things are free as well, so go online and check it out. Dr. Hines, I want to thank you so much.
Oh,
is there anything else you'd like to add?
I really would like to reiterate the point you made about the university belonging to all of us. It is a regional institution, and it is here to serve the region. And it is important for us to be, yes, on the campus, but also in our communities. So over this year, you will be hearing and seeing a lot more of us in the community, on the campus. And I encourage people to come and share with us as we celebrate. It is our celebration, and it is the region's celebration.
Absolutely right. Senator Dr. Christina Hines, head of a lot of areas at the University of the West Indies, our very special guest this morning on Morning Barbados, and encouraging all of you to be a part of the 60th anniversary celebrations of the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill. The University in the West Indies celebrating its 75th anniversary, and there are also a number of activities which we will tell you about as time goes on as well. We'll take a break here on Morning Barbados. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Francis from the beautiful Parish of St. Lucie. Join us on February 25th at Cove Bay for Hike St. Lucie. See you there.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade, or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
15 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. And by the way, in case you've forgotten, today is Ash Wednesday. Today's Ash Wednesday, would you believe it? And so today at 12 noon, you can join us on Q100.7 FM as we bring to you live from St. David's Anglican Church the Ash Wednesday service. That's at 12 noon on Q100.7 FM today. But are you going out to get your Ash audio forward? Where are you going? Seriously, where are you going? So take some time today to reflect. Those of you Christians who celebrate the occasion known as Ash Wednesday as we begin the Lenten period. Now, if I were to ask you, what's the capital of Slovakia? If I were to ask you where to find for me Cambodia and point it out on the map, could you? Could you really? Well, there is an amazing young boy who has been able to memorize, he's seen it, the map of the world, and he can now etch that map of the world piece for piece, country by country, everything detailed indeed. And if you ask him a question as I've just asked you, he'll answer the question. Who you see, he's an outstanding young man, and I want you to meet him now. Take a look.
Dylan Gay, 12 years old, walks through the Rainier Beach Community Center, into a room and onto a chair, and he starts drawing. Lines squiggly and jagged.
You've found this thing that you're amazingly good at. How does that feel?
It feels great.
Dylan likes maps, and he studies maps, and he draws maps, all from memory, all nearly perfect, and then he labels them in alphabetical order. It's his gift.
I just call myself the map guy.
He remembers seeing a map in the basement as a child and being transfixed.
It's kind of simple. Don't overthink it. I just looked at it and I was like, I wanted to draw that.
He says he's probably drawn the United States 1,000 times, but Dylan is a man of the world, and his drawings, all from memory, reflect that.
Do you think about it all the time? Are you obsessed with maps?
Yes, I am. Here we have Washington counties. Here's a detailed map of Africa. This is a detailed map of Europe.
You can name the countries in the world by alphabetical order.
Yes.
Okay, how about S?
St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Samoa, San Marino, Sao Tome and Principe, Saudi Arabia, Senegal, Serbia, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Slovakia.
Okay, I believe you.
Solomon Islands, Somalia, South Africa, South Sudan, Spain.
What do your friends say about this obsession of yours?
They say that's why I don't get a girlfriend.
That wasn't supposed to be funny, was it?
It was funny. It's funny.
Dylan lives with his Aunt Deborah and Uncle Greg. His own parents are unable to be a part of his life. Deborah is astounded by Dylan every day.
I am. All I can do is sit and learn myself. He's teaching me.
If I rattle off some countries, can you say their capital?
Yeah.
I have to remind him he's 12.
Uzbekistan.
Tashkent.
Turkmenistan.
Ashgabat.
Sit back and say, where did he get this from? Where did you come from?
Pakistan.
Islamabad. Come on, man. Give me a harder one.
Namibia.
Windhoek.
Bolivia.
La Paz and Sucre.
Uzingador.
That isn't a country.
Okay. And it's not just maps that light Dylan's world. It's history in all of its forms.
That map over there, that one's from 1994, because you can see the Soviet states have broken up, so that's after 1993.
Hey, Dylan! What's up? How are you?
At Aki Karosi Middle School, Ms. Carter teaches history.
I think that he is beyond his years. He's so smart. He's so talented, like I said before. And like I said, I love to see him at work.
Dylan gave Ms. Carter a gift on this day.
This is a map of Washington. Look at that. Oh, that's so sweet. He does know a lot. And I like to feel like he pretends that he doesn't, because he doesn't want to take over. But he'll come to me and he'll say, Miss Carter, I already know that. And I'm like, okay, I know.
How about K?
Kazakhstan, Kenya, Kiribati.
Well, I think we're just going to have to wait and see where he goes with it.
North Korea, South Korea.
Because he has so many different talents and a way of approaching them. I think it's just going to come and get him. I think it's just going to, it's going to come to him.
Mongolia.
Ulaanbaatar.
They'll come and knock at the door and say, Dylan, we've been looking for you. You came.
I came, that's right. I showed up.
But Dylan Gay's lesson isn't about memory games or map drawing. Dylan teaches us that when we find the thing we truly love, there are no borders, no lines that confine. Knowledge and happiness and the place where the two of them meet have no boundaries.
That is so true. It has no boundaries. And so, if you know anyone on this island who's not necessarily doing the same thing as Dylan, but who you think has an outstanding skill, we'd love to meet them here on Morning Barbados. Of course, do get in contact with us by sending us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, morninbarbados@cbc.bb. This youngster who astounds you by what they do, what they know. Let us know. We love to celebrate those kinds of people as well. So please send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Leave the rest to us. Let us know who they are and how to contact them, and you leave the rest to us. We'll be happy to share with other people from all over the world. We do too here on this island have some outstanding young people. Dylan is 12. I'm sure in your house, maybe there's someone you know, or at your school, there's someone you know who you'd like to introduce to us. So please do so. Yes, Roosevelt and Glenda, he's a really amazing and a really intelligent young man. All I can say to Roosevelt is wow. Wow indeed. So, we're going to take a break right here. We're coming back to help you scratch your head in just a moment. Maybe Dylan can help you when we unscramble some words in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, 7 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. This is your time to prove that you can be a Dylan, or to prove Dylan wrong by unscrambling some letters. You ready for this? Are you ready for this? Unscramble some letters with me and make me some words. The numbers for you to call are 228-5562 or 228-5563. Don't let Dylan make you look bad. What word can we make from this first word on your screen? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Take a look at it. Take a look. That's a word. Oh, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Pearson. My name began with G, but I don't think I'm as genius as that guy. I want to have most amazing things I saw on TV.
Yeah. Your man is outstanding indeed. But Gregory, do you know the word you see on your screen? Can you start this one out?
Yeah, I'm going to prove that I'm a little like him, activism.
Gregory, you sure?
Yes.
My Gregory, you got a little bit of him for real. Gregory, you're absolutely right. You know, it's been a while you got one right. Well done.
I always get some right, Pearson.
I said it's been a while. Well done, Gregory. Thanks a lot, buddy. Gregory got one right. Finally, he got one right indeed after some time indeed. But Greg is a good guy. Now, here's a new word. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Another bunch of jumbled letters. What word can we make when we unscramble these letters you see on your screen at the moment? 228-5562 or 228-5563. It's a good word. So tell me what it is. Come on. Tell me what it is. 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call me. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
I am fine.
Oh, sweet. Do you get ready for work now?
No.
I hope today is not as long as last time here.
No, I am
be?
not going in today.
Oh, lucky you.
I am on sick leave.
Oh, so sorry to hear. Wish you better, okay?
Thank you.
Tell me the word, or you don't get off. Tell me the word.
That's like humanity.
It looks like that to you.
Yeah.
You got up and washed your face yet?
Yes, dear son. That's the first thing we are taught. You know that. Wash your face and brush your teeth.
Yes. Billy, you're absolutely right. Humanity is correct. Thank you. All right?
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Wish you better indeed. Humanity is right indeed. So here we go. A new set of words. Look, there are 2 words as a matter of fact. What words are these on your screen? Come on. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I think this is easy. Easy, easy, easy. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Come on, have your Dylan moment. 228-5562 or 63. What 2 words are these that you see on your screen at the moment? Let me know. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time to rise and shine. I guess that person has gone cold on me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. That's the number to call right now. Come on, y'all know this. I'm telling you, you do. I am telling you that you do. So believe that you do and do it. Unscramble the letters and give me a call. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, person.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. What are the words?
The word look like equal rights.
It looks like that, but what are the words?
Pardon?
What are the words? I want you to hear. I want to hear what the words are.
Equal
Absolutely right. Equal rights.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay.
Yes, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. I know it's you. Thanks, Steph. Have a good day indeed. She's got that right as well. Well done to all of you. You have proven to me you are as sharp as Dylan. We'll take a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm just teasing y'all. We have 2 minutes to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. Now listen, don't forget, if you know a little Dylan in your community or in your family or at your school or someone else's somebody, you can give us an email. Send us an email. Let us know who they are, this outstanding young person in your area. Let us know by sending us an email at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us know the name of the individuals, how to contact them, and we will take it from there. So we're always looking for some outstanding Barbadians, and I know they are among you. They do not have to be as brilliant as Dylan is, but because of what they do, they cause you to pause, and they cause you to go like, wow. Wow, indeed. Let us help you with that. Let's help to celebrate who they are and to share them too with the rest of the world by sending us that email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Also, for those of you watching somewhere else in the world as well, we'd like to meet you too. So if you know that you're Barbadian somewhere and you'd love for us to be able to connect with you, just have a little conversation, you know, keep it easy, then you can also send us an email with your contact details to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And if you know someone here, if you're living here on the island, you have a relative, a friend, a work colleague who's doing some great work also out of the island, and you'd love for us to be able to reach out to them, let us know where they are, who they are, their contact details, and we can do that too. It is as simple, Simon who made the pieman. It is that simple indeed. So we look forward to your interaction with us by email. Don't forget, today is Ash Wednesday. We have live on Q100.7 FM at noon, the Ash Wednesday service from St. David's Anglican Church, but you're encouraged to go to your own place of worship to celebrate the start of Lent through Ash Wednesday. That's it for us today, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. My producer has been Nadia Foster, Technical Director Roel Ford, Sound Christopher Blenman, at Master Control Tamisha Green, and Pearson Boying. For each of them, to all of you, we say thank you. Come back tomorrow. We have even more. Take care until then. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.